Hi ho everyone, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi Turwinkle.
Greetings.
Are you all set for tonight?
Affirmative.
Great. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a one-on-one talk with Adarria. And so we are looking forward to that. As you can see, she's dropping into the background there, and here she is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and sit down and have a nice talk with her and find out all we can about Adarria. So we will see you folks in a second when we get all settled in. All right, well, let's see what we can get from just looking at her character. And so we have Adarria. She's a shield maiden personal bodyguard. Her nickname is Ada. She's the ambassador of the non-Jamin of the Shigru, which is the guild she's in. Fire Lord Adarria. She's level 90, a Arathi paladin. She's currently happy, great mood. Hello, darlings. And down below, full-time RPer, love walk-ups in character. And what that means is she's a full-time role player and loves people to walk up and just role play with her. Don't need to know her for a long time. She likes to meet new people, in other words. So if you're a role player on the Worm Rest Accord server and you see Adarria, she's not opposed to you coming up and saying, "Hi, I am Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. How are you?" and start an RP that way. So let's get to know her a little more, shall we? All right, well, let's get to know Adarria a little better, and the way that we can do that is by going over her MRP, which stands for My Roleplay. It's an add-on that you can pick up from Curse to add into the game, and it allows you to flesh out your character even more for role-playing purposes. So let's check it out here. As you can see, because I have MRP, I can look at hers. You have to have the add-on to be able to read other people's MRPs. And so when you put your cursor over that, you see the box pop up there, and it shows you all that information that we read earlier. So if you click that, this more information will pop up here. And so it says Adarria, Ada, Shield Maiden, Personal Bodyguard, and then you're able to add in all sorts of stuff here. So we'll take a look at her appearance first and see what she's written here. It tells us what her role-playing style is, which is full-time RPer, love walk-ups. Her character status, she's in character at the moment. Her eyes are blue, race Arathi, height 5'8", weight 132 pounds. See, so you can really get detailed in your description. And again, currently happy, great mood. Hello, darlings. Description: Adarria has deep blue eyes, long blonde hair. Her facial features are soft with high cheekbones. She keeps her hair up in a bun since it's so long, and she fights in battles and cuts hordes down to nothing. She has a scar on her left side of her body from an axe grazing her. She is soft-spoken, well-disciplined in the art of war. She is a great healer as well, and is in training to be a surgeon also. Says, my guild is also on YouTube under the Adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage, episode 42, which is nice. And actually, that was a great episode. In that episode, we had a fun time recording a storytime event, and then we met the folks here, and we met Adarria for the first time there as well, when we did their guild interview, which was great. So you can see the two tabs down here below. We've got appearance and we have biography. And as you can see, it's got further information about her age, which is 35, home, Stormwind Castle, birth, Old Town Stormwind. Her motto is, patience is a virtue, my friend. Learn to wait, darn it. We'll kind of edit that for the young folks there. So the history: Adarria was born in Stormwind. Both her parents were minor nobles in the Old Kingdom. They were best friends with King Varian since they were small children, been by his side when they grew old enough to go to battle. Both their parents were killed in the Third War. Sad it happened that way. She moved into the castle soon after their death. Life in the castle was great. Had the best schooling provided to her. King Varian is her godfather. He did the best he could to raise her along with his son. She now works for Matriarch Shay Suling as her personal bodyguard. There she fights all the evil in the world and protects Shay Suling as her shield maiden. So nice. So you can, as you can see here, as you can see here, you can write quite a history. And I've seen several MRPs that are not just one page, but 2, 3 pages long, and they document everything that their tune does in the World of Warcraft. So great. So let's find out a little more from her. We'll ask her a few questions and maybe get a little more details on just who Adarria is, and maybe a little bit about the person behind Adarria on the other side of the screen there. So here we are sitting down with Adarria, and the first thing I say, so let me first thank you for being my first one-on-one interview. Adarria says, "Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you for having me, Turwinkle." And again, this is our first one-on-one interview. If you folks like the interview, if you like the segment that we're doing in the series, let us know below in the comments. It's something that we would really enjoy continuing to do, and I think it's a great way to meet people and find out about why they role play, and maybe a little more about their tunes, and maybe a little more about their role-playing styles. So our first question here to Adarria is, I think the first question should be, how did you come up with your character's name? Is it from a book or a movie? Something you just happened to make up? And she says, it all started when MOP came out, and a friend of mine gave me the idea. Being new to the role-playing world, I had no clue where to begin. So I came up with this idea along with a friend of mine. I said, so the name Adarria is something you thought up with a friend then? I love the name, by the way. And I do. I think Adarria is a very unique name. I haven't seen any other tunes with that name. And maybe there isn't some other servers, but I haven't seen them on the servers that I have been on. And the name for a role player is really important because it, in some ways, will show you what kind of role player you are, whether you're serious or maybe a little on the lighter side of role playing. And it's something that obviously people are going to call you. And so some people spend a lot of time and a lot of thought into their name just to begin their tune. A lot of people spend a lot of time thinking of a good name. And once they find that name, a lot of people will use it not only in World of Warcraft, but they'll use it on their Guild Wars 2 character or on any other RPG games that they play. They'll use that name, and they'll hold on to it and carry it with them wherever they go. He says, "Oh no, sorry, Adarria I came up with almost 7 years ago. I have another tune named Adarria on another server. Just loved the name, wanted to create another tune with that name." I said, "Oh, so is it your go-to name for your tunes then in other games as well?" Says, "Just this tune and another 90 I have on Echo Isles. I've been playing World of Warcraft since October 2006. Have 4 level 90s total, but not all of them are named Adarria." I said, "Great. You said you're new to RP. What made you take the leap into role-playing?" She says, "I wanted something different besides just PvE and PvP. So about a month and a half ago, I decided to come to the role-play world and give it a try. I love it. I have several stories that I do." And I said, "So what was the hardest thing for you to learn when you first started role-playing in World of Warcraft?" So wow, the grammar, spelling, and when to use emotes. I still have a hard time during a fight. Those make me nervous. So I try to avoid any fights or battles in RP. And I said, I still have a hard time myself RPing fights. I always feel like I'm God moding for some reason. And that's true. Some people, they like to role play, especially on the role play servers, will role play out their fights. And so, they're writing long paragraphs on what they're doing exactly. And it's up to the other person to role play along with that. And for me, it's always hard. I don't want to not allow blows to come in and get me, but on the same token, you don't want to die. So for me, it's hard to balance those two aspects. So I have a hard time role playing fights as well. It takes a real skill, I think. So I asked, "So do you play any other role-playing games besides WoW?" She says, "No, WoW is the only game I play." So great. Those were great questions and fantastic answers. So let us continue on and let's find out a little more about the player behind the tune, shall we? All right, and we're back. So let's ask a few more questions of Adarria here. So Turwinkle asks, "So what can you tell us about you, the person behind Adarria? Feel free to share what you like." Dara says, my real name is Danielle. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful children, ages 21, 19, and 13. I have 2 grandkids, ages 1 year and 10 months. I love to read and write, and sign language is my second language. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. I usually don't watch scary movies, but for some reason I'm hooked on that series. I love The Walking Dead as well. That is a really good series. I'm from California, but now reside in New Mexico. I'm a people person and love to help who I can. So that's great. That dispels the myth that all role players are fat guys living in their parents' basement, which really is true. So, I mean, our role players come in all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, and genders, races. We're all part of a great big role-playing family, and so this just goes to show that role players are all types of people. She says, yes, it does. I see that a lot in chat. I'm just your average mother who loves to play WoW. I blame my brother for this. So, what do you think you have in common with Adarria? She says, I would think that I have her personality, her driven desire to succeed. She is kind-hearted and sweet, and always willing to help those in need. That is the way I am in real life. So, well, in what ways do you think you differ? She says, I'm a mother, she's not. And she's a fighter when the time calls for it. I do not like confrontation. I avoid those. Well, great. All of those are really good answers. So let us finish up with Adarria, shall we? All right. Well, the last round of questions here for poor Adarria, who's been so very patient with Turwinkle this evening. So what can you tell us about Adarria's current storyline? What is she doing in the game at the moment? Adarria is a shield maiden and personal bodyguard to her guildmaster Shay Shuling. And it saddens me to tell you this, but she died in the last guild's roleplay. Her spirit/soul was sent to the nether, and her body turned to dust. Oh my! Oh no! So a memorial is set this Saturday for Adarria, and I'll either change her name or they will try and bring Adarria back. Well, geez, I hope they bring her back. That's what Turwinkle says was wowzers. So is there plans to revive her then? It really is an interesting RP. Kind of a, wow, a different way to go. Different way to go with your character. Says they wanted me to change the tune entirely. I was like, no, I do several other RPs on this tune and can't change her. So yes, so far that's going to be the plan, is to bring her back, and hopefully they do so. And I have high hopes that that's what's going to happen there. Says, but her spirit remains with her guild, watching over them, which is nice. I assume that's how she's going to RP Adarria, is just kind of being there in ghost form, quote-unquote ghost form. So I said, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about that. Turwinkle will definitely keep his ears open and hopefully get the rest of the story there as it progresses. She says, yes, indeed. Hope I don't go into a man's body. Well, that would definitely be a different thing altogether for Adarria, I would think. So, as we close here, what advice would you give folks that may want to try role-playing for the first time? She says, I would say, don't be nervous. We all start somewhere. You can't be perfect. Just go with it and have fun. And really, that's what role-playing is all about. It's just having fun. And so, like she said, don't be nervous. Just get out there and get with some people and start role-playing. It does take a little time to learn, but if you find a great group to RP with, they'll help you along. And Turwinkle has interviewed several fun guilds that would be more than happy to take you in and teach you all the ropes. So if you want to find one of those guilds, feel free to watch any of the guild interviews that I do on the Adventures of Turwinkle the Gnome Mage, and they'll be happy to take you in and teach you the ropes. Said, wonderful advice. Thank you so much for taking your time with Turwinkle here and to share your story with us. So thank you very much, Adarria. It was a wonderful interview, and again, hopefully the first of many down the line. And so Turwinkle's going to say his goodbyes and he will get back home. So we'll get back to that when we get there. All right, so we will let poor Adarria go. And Turwinkle, give her a nice bow, would you, sir? And give her a nice thank you for being so patient with you.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
See, now that was very nice this time, Turwinkle. Excellent job, sir. So we will say goodbye and we'll hearth back to the tent.
It's been fun.
We'll hearth back to the tent and we'll see you folks when
I'll
we get
miss
there.
you.
All right, Turwinkle. Well, we're back safe and sound in our tent in Refuge Point. Excellent job tonight, sir. Yes, you did a great job at interviewing Adarria. She was very nice and very patient with us, wasn't she?
Indubitably.
Yeah, she was really nice. So, folks, if you liked the episode, click like. It'll let us know that we're definitely going down the right path with this segment. If you'd like to comment on either Adarria or on the episode itself, please do so below. Let us know what we did right. Let us know what we did wrong. Maybe there's a question in there you would have liked us to ask, and maybe we can include it in future interviews. And finally, if you'd like to join Team Turwinkle, we'd love to have you, so subscribe. And the more the merrier. And again, we'd love to have as many people join us as possible. So Turwinkle, another fine night done, sir. And we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.